Hi, so here we are back in the administrative interface, and what I want to do here is I want to walk you through using the Sermon Manager. So the Sermon Manager is really direct and to the point in what it does, but yet at the same time there's several different parts of it. So I need to take you over all of these. First of all, I'm going to take you to the first screen here, which says Sermons, and what this screen does is it just gives you an overview of all the sermons you have listed. Allows you to do an edit, a quick edit, send it to the trash, or view it right there. This and this do the same thing. If I click on edit or I just click on this, it takes me to the actual screen so that I can actually edit the sermon is what it does. So here it is. Here is, if you were editing a sermon, here's what one would look like. And we're going to go ahead and walk through adding one, but I'll just take you through a quick overview. Here's the title of the sermon, and I'll take you over here to the front of the page so you can see that. And down here you'll see the title of the sermon. There's the title of the sermon, okay? And I'm sorry, this is test sermon 2. And you've got to give it a date right here. When you click this, a date picker is going to come out, so that's really nice, but you have to give a sermon a date. If you neglect to give a sermon a date, it will still let you save it, but it will not show up out here. It absolutely will not show up out there. So you need to be sure to give it a date. Next is the service type, and here these service types can be changed. Okay, in the settings menu, and these are just the defaults that are here, so I haven't changed these. I've just left these. Main Bible passage. If you have a main Bible passage, you go ahead and enter it in, and it's entered in the completely traditional format, just the name of the book, and you can abbreviate the name of the book, and you'll still get the Bible pop-ups. I'll explain about the Bible pop-ups in a minute. But you can abbreviate with the three-letter name of the book, and that's just fine. Then you must do the chapter, colon, and verses in the standard verse structure, first verse, dash, and last verse that you want displayed. And I will show you why you want to do this here once we go back up to the front. Here is the description of the sermon. This is where you put all that. Once again, nice little WYSIWYG editor, which means what you see is what you get if you haven't heard that term before. Location of MP3. You can either, if you already have an MP3 out there on the internet somewhere, you can copy and paste in that URL, or you can click here, which is going to bring you to WordPress's uploader, and you can select files, and it'll take you right here. You can just go wherever you want to and select your file, and then it'll need to be an audio file, an MP3 file, and then upload that, and then that's going to upload that right there for you. Once again, it must be an MP3. Cannot be an OGG or anything like that. This particular framework utilizes only MP3. If you have a video that you want to embed from YouTube, you can embed that right here. Now, sermon notes is a way for you to upload and attach things to this. Sermon notes can be pretty much generally speaking, they should be in a PDF format so that everybody can view them, but they don't necessarily have to be. They'll upload in other formats, but you should upload a PDF file is what you should do. Now, there are ways to add more than one thing in here to these sermons. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a later video. It involves actually writing a little bit of well, not really so much writing code as just copying and pasting additional attachments that you want in here, and you have to do it through A tags, and it's not exactly that complex, and I'll show you how to do it. But in this framework, you can add more than one attachment. You just have to utilize a little code to do it. So, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a very, very simple piece of code. In fact, you're not even going to have to write the code. You're just going to have to copy and paste it. Is all you're ever going to have to do with that piece of code. So, okay, so that is what the sermon. That is what that looks like here, the editor. Now, over here, you're going to see you also have preachers, sermon series, sermon topics, and books of the Bible. So you can, in here, in this system, you can add preachers, and we're going to add those. You can make a sermon series. You can make an entire series of sermons. You can utilize sermon topics and divide it by topics. And what you're doing here between series and topics, this is just kind of a way for you to sort through them via the WordPress interface. And what it is WordPress uses categories all over the place to categorize stuff, right? Okay, and all this is two separate categories, and one category is by topics and one category is by series. That's the only difference there. You have a topic, and then you have a specific series that you create, which may have more than one topic. But then you may also want to divide stuff just into topics, so that when people search in the front of your site right here, they can search. When it searches, it'll search by both series and it'll search through those topics too. This is what this is doing. This is tagging it with certain categories, letting WordPress know, hey, this is relevant to this search and this is relevant to this search right there. So anyway, that is a quick overview of this. Now, in the next video, we're going to go ahead and add a sermon, and we're going to add some preachers, and then we're going to go in and we're going to go ahead and add a sermon.